What's up, guys? Our wrestling podcast back at you with another episode. This is Jay Vicious along with Justin Total Pocket. We did it. This is Dave Vicious along with Justin Total Package and Craig the British Bulldog, bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. No inside sources, no ties to the industry, just stories from the diehards, sharing opinions with you. Today's topic: missed opportunities, Sting in WWE. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcast, or watch our videos on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel. Can you be a doll on social media and give us a follow on Instagram at O.W.P 2019 or on Facebook and X at Our Wrestling Podcast? Craig, this is one of the biggest missed opportunities I think I've ever seen with any wrestler. Finally making it to, I don't know when you call it the big time, but it's the big time to most people. I think Sting would be the one person to disagree. This is not the big time, but talk about missed opportunities, having the face of WCW, really the one that never left, finally make it into WWE and see what we see. What do you think?
A series of unfortunate incidences, a series of injuries that would happen, and a series of just the man in charge just never ever wanting to have the icon of the other company get over at any point.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jess. Do you know what he's talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. What is it?
No, everything's fine. This is
It went well.
And that's our show, everyone.
It went well. It's a great time.
He's still there now, finishing his career up with the WWE.
Yeah, he's gonna have his last match.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
WrestleMania 40.
All right, let's get into it. Missed opportunities. This is obviously we're getting way past the early WCW days where Sting spent, more than half his life at that time. After the sale of WCW, Sting wrote out the rest of his Time Warner contract. For those of you that don't know, many wrestlers were under a contract with AOL Time Warner, where if they sat out and didn't go to other venues, they could sit and get paid as the company closed. They could finish their contracts. And I'll just say right now, if I was Sting, I would have done the same. I don't blame him at all. I don't blame any of the guys that really did that. I know a lot of people are like, oh, how dare you? But some of those guys are making really good money. And if you could stay home and be with your family and get healed up, and I don't really have an issue with it. So he would join.
I had no idea he was with TNA for 11 years. Right. That is insane.
Yeah. He was just shy. He was with WCW for almost 14, I think, and TNA was close.
I was never a TNA fan. I didn't see a lot of TNA. I missed that entire run, and I feel awful for it.
I loved watching TNA. There was a lot of shit, but I mean, like it. I like alternatives. I've always liked alternative brands. That's why I fight with Cuz all the time.
Yeah, he could settle down.
NXT.
He's a WWE homer, and I love WWE. It got me into wrestling, period. But I mean, like, it's like I love fucking alternative brands.
It's great having
WCW. I like AEW.
NWA,
you love TNA.
Well, we were just talking earlier about the NXT brand and being able to shed off into those alternate brands where they can go somewhere and grow and be different. I mean, don't get too crazy on other stuff, but look at Swerve now. Swerve had the AEW option to go, and now he's amazing. WWE let that guy go. So, having those alternative brands, if they don't have that, where are they going to go? And even Sting, at least in this case, he had a choice, right? So he decided to go to TNA. As Craig said, he was there for 11 years. He left in 2014, and then he actually appeared on a WWE Network production in April 15th of same year, sharing his story of a former tag team partner, the Ultimate Warrior, part of the Blade Runners, which was super cool, who had unfortunately, he recently passed away, the Warrior did. Yeah. And this sparked Sting's first non-archive appearance on a WWE branded show. Sting was a prominent contributor to the documentary film Warrior, The Ultimate Legend, which premiered on April 17th on the WWE Network, which is a far cry from the Warrior film that buried the Warrior.
It was a sequel to Self-Destruction, The Ultimate Warrior.
Yes.
The Warrior Legend.
His shoulders were like this, He was just gigantic. I was 262 or 3 pounds. He was 285 pounds. And he made me look like just a regular guy. We sent out press kits. all over the world, actually, even into Japan and into England. And We got one phone call back. It was about 3 days later, but we got a phone call back from Jerry Jarrett. And he said, yeah, I'm looking at a picture and I got 4 guys in this picture, but he says, I can only use 2 of you. And so Jim was at my house in Southern California. I was on one line, he was on another line. Is, well, which 2 do you want? He goes, I want the 2 guys to the far left in this picture I'm looking at. There was only one picture we had of all 4 of us like that. That was Jim Hellwig and me. So he said, perfect. So we got in the car, my 83 T-Bird, and we left California, and we drove about 3 days before Thanksgiving 1985. We drove out to Nashville, Tennessee.
I want to say, like,
how the tables have turned. What?
These next few points, you're talking about all these different things that Sting did on the run up, and I want to say, and I do not particularly remember this, but Jess, I'm sure you'll have insight. I think we all knew this was coming because of these small moments in the dirt sheets and the internet at this time. Were very like, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. He would do vignette, commercial, vignette, promo, license, blah, blah, blah. It was like, it was inevitable. And it was kind of like, I don't remember, like, was it spoiled before his actual appearance? I think it was. Like, we knew it was coming.
We all knew it was going to happen. I think it was always leaked. I don't think anything was ever a secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of see the writing on the wall. So the following day, online retailer Zavvi announced the upcoming WWE home video, DVD, and Blu-ray release of The Best of Sting. The 3-disc set released on September 23rd, 2014. This is where Vince instantly makes all of his money back on the purchase of WWE. I don't know.
Jess, did you buy that? Did you buy that DVD? Do you have?
I'm sure
own
I
it?
did. I'm sure it's in there.
It's in the garage somewhere.
Do you have all your DVDs, Jess?
Hmm?
Do you have all your DVDs somewhere?
Oh yeah, I still have all of them. Yeah, in my garage.
Yeah, I said the garage. I was right. See, yeah, it's in the garage somewhere. Next to the workout equipment.
I still have my VHS tapes.
On July 14th, Sting appeared in a vignette on Raw to promote the video game WWE 2K15, which he was featured as a pre-order bonus character in both his Crow and, quote, Surfer pre-1996 incarnations. That same day, WWE began to sell Sting merchandise. Like Craig said, you can see where this is going.
Yeah, so now I sound ridiculous and
no, you
dumb
don't. You sound like you knew what you're talking about.
No, I did. Like, once you actually see the obviousness of this is all coming, like I tried to say, like, did we know? And then of course, like, I didn't realize reading ahead.
On November 23rd, during the main event of Survivor Series, Sting made his first ever appearance in a WWE ring by attacking Triple H with a Scorpion Death Drop, and also costing Team Authority the match. Jess, who was Team Authority?
Oh God, I think it was Big Show. Well, I mean, Triple H and Stephanie managed it.
It was
like Seth, Big Show, and a few other people. Like in
it was because it was Dolph Ziggler pinning Seth.
It was Dolph ended up winning because of Sting.
It's Sting! What's Stinger's here? A 6-time WCW champion, the 2-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. But what the hell is he doing here? The franchise. The man who's never stepped foot inside WWE's arena before. Well, what a hell of an impact he's made the first time he did.
Fantastic.
And they dragged him over Seth.
Good stuff.
It was cool. It was
I bet that just blew the house down when Sting came out, delivered that. On January 19th of 2015, Sting made his live Raw debut by appearing backstage during the main event before walking to the stage.
Why? Sorry, Dave. Right, why 2 months? That's so. Why 2 months later? Very strange. Why wouldn't you do the Raw after?
Because he had to spend Christmas with his kids, and it was a requirement. I'm just guessing, but I can see Sting going like, "Why? Let's just keep."
I'm not gonna be there.
And
that doesn't work for me, brother.
If there's, I mean, last I checked, there's not really a pay-per-view in December. Maybe there was then. There's not one now. So if it wasn't a pay-per-view or wasn't a distinguished pay-per-view, maybe it's like, well, why waste it? I'm totally guessing, Craig. I'm just trying to answer your question in the best way possible. But
I don't remember the angle of the story. I don't know if you do, Jess.
And by the way,
I don't. I think they just held him off because they knew it was going to be Triple H and Sting at Mania.
Okay, so you got sued in November all the way to fucking March.
And maybe and maybe there's limited dates for Sting.
Brilliant. Yep.
In the contract. So
yes.
Yeah. He walked on the stage, causing the distraction to cost Authority members Big Show, Kane, and Seth Rollins their handicap match. Sting and Triple H had a confrontation at Fastlane on February 22nd. So if I'm not mistaken, Jess, we fast forward from January 18th to February 22nd. So there's no Rumble for Sting.
No,
Wow.
Was he hurt?
no. It's,
I would
Didn't
argue if
use
God
Sting,
damn
if,
it! Like what
well,
fucking?
well,
Can we
here's-
just like
well, here-
missed
no.
opportunity? Missed opportunity.
Well, it
Why
could be,
not?
it could be a missed opportunity because, but the argument on the other side would be like, well, if he's not going to win the Royal Rumble, we're not going to put him in the Royal Rumble.
I think at this point, the Rumble in 2014, 2015 is that planned out Rumble with different segments where it introduces people. It lets like new. The ability to tell a bunch of different stories. I don't remember back here, but I don't see any reason why you wouldn't.
Well, here's the
maybe
thing.
it's it's simply dates. I
I'm
think
throwing it up, Craig. The Authority could have interfered and pulled him out of the Royal Rumble and caused him to be pulled out and thrown over with them not even being in the Rumble, and that would be a big schmoz to Mania where he's gonna face Triple H. Could have been just that he enters. Oh my God, he could wrestle the title holder at WrestleMania, and the Authority fucks it up.
Yeah,
That would have been easy.
yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just
limited
like
dates
Sting
could
will
still
give
be
you
the answer.
6 dates. You got 6 dates between November and April. I don't know.
And you waste one on Raw. I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
I'm
But
just-
I love you, Sting. And by the way, this is all cool.
yeah,
like,
it's interesting.
Sting's not hitting the road. He doesn't give a shit.
So
He's just
that
like, okay.
Fastlane confrontation on February 22nd, there was some slight physicality between the two. Sting pointed to the
Slight
WrestleMania 31
physicality.
slight with
Fucker.
his baseball bat, issuing a challenge for the event that was ultimately accepted by Trips, the Trippy H's, the Hunter Hearst Helmleys, the Levesques. We just jump right into it. Sting lost at WrestleMania 31 in a match involving interference from members of both D-Generation X and the New World Order, but shook hands with Triple H afterwards, which I'm still mad about.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Sting returned in the August 24th episode of Raw, challenging Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Night of Champions. Okay.
Nope. Jess, talk about the entrances of Sting and Triple
Yes,
H in
that's
that
what I wanted
match.
to
And
do.
why
I
you
agree.
love it.
I was just proud of Sting to be here. The match was really good actually, but the
It
problem
was.
is like you're in WWE and like they were never going to put him over. And my big missed opportunity was like Sting should have been brought in to face the Undertaker. Period. End of story.
Yeah,
And that's what it was all for. And the Undertaker had already lost the streak here. This is the first WrestleMania that Taker wrestled after the streak was gone. So why not put him in there with Sting? And I would be fine if Taker beat Sting. I wouldn't care. But maybe they couldn't do it. But I don't understand. Like Triple H and Sting did fine. Like everything was fine. Like they did a great match. Like it was fun. They had people in and out. I didn't like the ending at all. I just don't know why Sting's only interaction in the company was with Triple H. I mean, I know why, but I mean, like, why wouldn't the Undertaker and Sting have been put on a collision course? Like, it makes no sense. Like, it really doesn't at all. If you're gonna make Sting lose at WrestleMania, his only WrestleMania, like, let him lose to the Undertaker. It's fine. Sting would be like, that's fine. Like, that's totally.
well, and,
I get it.
and the other side of that too, Jess, is that the Triple H never needed that win. Let's just be real about it. He never.
No, it didn't.
It wouldn't
They
have
didn't need to
hurt
do
him.
anything they did. Like, and the NWO came out and helped Sting, which made no sense because the whole
Yeah.
Sting character of the Crow was anti NWO. Like,
Right.
it wasn't. It was never.
The NWO
was
versus
never-
DX during that match was
They
stupid.
turned it. Yeah, they turned it into WCW versus WWE, and I'm like, it was never about that with Sting. He was actually not anti WCW, but he was against WCW because
he was anti all of it.
they didn't
really.
believe in him. So Sting's like, well, fuck you guys and fuck the other guys because I'm not with them either.
It was
So it's
Sting
like-
versus the world.
For
really.
Hogan, Hall, and Nash to come out, and defend Sting, I'm like, why? It's not a WCW versus DX thing. It's a fucking it's a
Scott
Sting
Hall
versus the world.
said, look, 2 things. 1, I respect you now. 2, it's my idea for the Crow. We're going in.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is here. Sting in a WWE ring at WrestleMania. That's right. This is what it's like, Sting. Over 70,000 strong. For Sting's first ever appearance on the grandest stage of all, WrestleMania.
That's why. That's what it was.
Well, 3 backdrop me at WrestleMania, which he did. Scott took a fucking backdrop on the fucking floor. Just why not?
'Cause why not? Okay. Yep, I gotta keep going. Sting defeated Big Show by
But I was proud of
sorry.
him. One of the moments that we named, it'll come out on our
Right.
Best of Sting
Oh yeah.
episode, or favorite Sting moments episode. One of my favorite moments of his was him coming down at WrestleMania 31 and just looking around, and it's just kind of like,
It's kind of like
like
that. Wow.
they had
Kind of
some
like.
they had some big crowds in WCW, like, and I'm not saying he hasn't seen big crowds before, but it's WrestleMania, and so
Yeah.
like Sting just I kind of looked at him, and he was
He
just
took it
sort of
in.
like, okay, like
Yeah.
but he didn't care, and in the good way.
They
Like,
didn't
he
know
was
who
just
he
like,
was either. It was like those Asian drums and those Asian themes, and it really was
Yeah.
just a backdrop. He
I'm
came out
such
first.
I'm such a weirdo. I liked it, Greg. I know, like nobody thought
It was a good
connected.
No, and that's
production.
okay.
I'm not. Yeah, it was a good production. It was just like not him.
It was
Like
still
they could have done like a
daylight too,
dark, like,
and then
It
it
yeah, they
was
could have done.
overshadowed by Triple H's Terminator thing, wasn't
Of
it?
course,
Like,
It
of
was
course,
really cool. Triple H's
Yeah.
Terminator stuff was really cool.
Of
and
course.
he's not allowed to.
He's a heel,
fucking
and Arnold
overshadow that.
Schwarzenegger announced him to the ring in a video vignette. So I mean, it's like he's a heel. Why not? Of course, of course.
And to go
Like,
last, yeah,
he
because the
did.
belt was
Time
on
to
the
play
line.
the game. Like, he did the
it
whole
wasn't.
thing, and I was like, of course. Like, this makes total sense.
Well, I think I have no problem like talking about this missed opportunity forever because I think we all agree that it was that he should have won, and it would have gone down forever as just a memorous occasion. And now I think it's kind of forgotten. Nobody talks about it, so it didn't last. Like it's not a lasting memory of WrestleMania. So, I really believe, and I think the two of you have kind of come across this plane where Sting felt like he probably pushed the idea where even Triple H was like, "No, you should go over." Sting's like, "No, man, you're the young guy. You're gonna go over." I think Sting might have pushed it that way, and he might have created his own missed opportunity. I'm not saying I don't have any proof of that, but I could see Triple H going, "Well, why don't I go over?" And Sting's like, "That's fine," because Sting was always like, "That's fine." Mick Foley's like, I go back, say, "Let's do this." I almost didn't even suggest it to Sting, but he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." He's like, and Mick Foley's like, "You're gonna do my move?" He's like, "Yeah, why wouldn't I? It's your move. It's gonna be a great match. Let's do it." Like Sting almost never said no. Like he's working with Darby now. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but he's helping Darby. I don't know where Darby would have accelerated to without Sting.
Yep.
So, trying to push forward on this, so you guys can have way more on unscripted moments on this one. But Sting defeated Big Show by disqualification as first.
Actually,
match
you
on
missed
Raw.
one. You missed one.
Did I?
Go back up one.
Oh, I did.
Seth
I talked about this.
Rollins.
Yeah, no, I talked.
Yeah,
I,
he said
I
that.
can repeat.
Oh, we did.
Sting,
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's okay. Sting returned on August 24th episode of Raw,
sorry.
challenging Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship on Night of Champions. Then Sting defeated Big Show by disqualification on his first match on Raw as a consequence of Rollins attacking Sting. That same night, second match was booked with John Cena and Sting defeating Show and Rollins. That's fun.
Rollins going for the pedigree. Oh, maybe not. Scorpion. Sting. He's not done. Stinger. Scorpion. Deathlock. Tapping out his Rollins. No way.
Here are your winners by submission, John Cena and Sting.
At a Night of Champions, Sting was defeated by Rollins and experienced a legit neck injury after a turnbuckle powerbomb. Sting later told Bill Apter that he does not blame Rollins for this injury, describing the incident as a freak accident. I call some bullshit because it's not the first person. Well, it's not the last person I say that said it's hurt.
It was during that period when Seth was known for hurting people, it was
Well, it was
after
just that stupid. It was that stupid move.
Yeah.
He had the buckle bomb was rough.
He'd had kneed John Cena in the face and dislodged his nose. Remember that?
He
that
hurt Finn Balor.
Yeah.
with a buckle bomb. But he buckle bombed him
buckle
into
bomb.
the turnbuckle, into the rails.
To the rail on the outside, the little
Yeah.
barricade or whatever.
That dislocated Finn's entire shoulder and wrecked.
So, and
his
by the way,
Raw,
when he tore his first ACL, Seth, it was because he was trying to do the buckle bomb to Kane. Kane mounted him in the
Jesus.
corner and started punching down on him. And Seth was supposed to pick him up in the power bomb, turn around and buckle bomb him. But when he jumped down to grab Kane, he blew his ACL out.
Well, yes and no. I mean, obviously that night I had some problems. I mean, both buckle bumps. Not Seth's fault, completely mine. I have no idea what I did. I have no idea, but my neck whiplashed on both of them.
Yeah.
And on the second one, he picked me up, and I'm having a casual conversation in my own mind as I'm hoisted up on his shoulders, thinking, okay, Steve, tuck your chin. I mean, do what you know how to do. This is ridiculous. And I wasn't worried at all, even though the first one I had, a shock going down the left and right side, both down to the fingertips. And I thought, oh, man, you can see me in the ring. I'm trying to, shake my hands out and try to get feeling back in my hands, And then the second time, again, having the casual conversation, and for whatever reason, I clicked out, checked out. I don't know what happened, but I did the same thing. And this time, it affected my leg.
Yeah, your leg buckled.
My
We
leg.
saw that.
So it got
And-
Seth.
So
And-
buckle bombs are just fucking bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bad. And by the way, when Seth went in for his surgery and had to do some work, guess who he was next to when he was doing his rehab? His PT, Finn Balor, who he hurt just once before.
Oh,
Because Finn's, I think, took a lot longer to come back from. By the way,
damn.
he was doing a ton of PT, and then all of a sudden, Seth and Finn are in the same PT
Yeah.
room doing work. It's all on the network, buddy. You can find it. I just thought that was interesting.
And why was Sting not there from March of that year till August of that year?
Many
Is
dates.
he just a dude? Again, I think it is, right? I think we're saying that he was limited. It was just dates. Like he just come back for
Yeah.
Mania season, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Right. Yeah. So
which is funny because he's every week in AEW for his last 2 years. He's been killing it. So, but there's
and,
just
he-
so
and
limited.
he's doing way more dangerous stuff, which I
And
don't.
maybe that was his deal
Yeah.
back then. He's like, we'll give you 125. He's like, well, I'll give you fucking 10 dates a year, tops.
So it was announced on January 11th of 2016 on an episode of Raw that Sting would be the first member of the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2016. Sting ultimately reneged on having surgery on March 22nd of 2016. Explained he felt completely normal, had none of the side effects commonly associated with cervical spinal stenosis.
Thanks, Seth.
Yeah, on April 2nd, during his Hall of Fame induction speech, Sting announced his first retirement from professional wrestling. He appeared at WrestleMania 32 along his 2016 inductees that following night. And then in August of same year, Sting appeared on the WWE Network show
And
Legends
he
of JBL.
never wrestled again.
No, that's not true.
Mhm.
Oh.
And talked about his career. He also stated he had still not undergone surgery, which would have ended his career if he had. And he still had hope for a match with The Undertaker, claiming his match is his unfinished business in wrestling. Unfortunately, that match would never happen, as Sting would pitch the idea for that match as a cinematic match with The Undertaker. It was never approved, and The Undertaker actually retired in 2020. But even at this moment, in 2024, Sting is still wrestling. So after 2016, Sting went on to AEW after a period of time and has been wrestling for several years there, and doing some fantastic stuff with Darby Allin. I guess you could call it protected in tag matches. I haven't heard he's done too many individual matches. But they're not just regular matches. They're insane, like going through tables, jumping off, spillways. Like it's crazy.
I think, like I said before, it's simple. He didn't want to be there. And
Right.
I think he wanted to say that I tried WWE because everybody expected me to go there because I wanted The Undertaker. And then when they didn't give it to him, he's like, and I'm out. Like, I think the missed opportunity to me is that it should have been The Undertaker, and then he could have left, like, after that. And everything would have been fine. He could have lost to The Undertaker. Everything is fine with that because it makes sense. Everybody wanted the two dark, ominous characters of each promotion to finally face each other. But instead, they diluted it, put him in there with Triple H. He loses to Triple H. He gets in there with Seth. He's a step behind because he's old. He gets fucked up on the buckle bomb. And then after that, it was just like, well, what am I doing here? It's like you kind of just was sort of like, what are you going to do with me? You're not going to put me in there with Undertaker? Then I'm out of here. Like, I'm going to retire and I'm going to your Hall of Fame. And then I'm just not going to, I'm going to unretire like a year later because I'm going to fucking go where another place wants me, where they want to use me correctly, like TNA did. And, the missed opportunity to me was it should have been The Undertaker, and then he's out. Like, he's in the Hall of Fame and he's out. Sting might have actually stayed retired, I believe, if he fought The Undertaker, because that's it. He's done. Like, he's just like, I'm done. I don't need to do this anymore. So we may not have seen Sting in AEW if he got his Undertaker match. I really feel that Sting was sort of like, this could end it for me in a good way. And then when it didn't happen, he's like, and this is why I didn't come here all these years, and fuck off. Like, and I'm out. And I think that's what happened. Like, it just all that whole WWE bullshit that Dave just read right now reaffirmed him to be like, I'm the other promotion guy. I'm never a WWE guy. I've never been a WWE guy. And when I got there, they didn't treat me as a WWE guy, even though they gave him the video games and the all that stuff and the DVDs, which is a great tribute. And Sting, I'm sure, made a little chunk of change off that shit, so as he deserved. But like to me, I'm like, you didn't use him right. Like the missed opportunity to me should have been Taker, and I'm out. Like, and that's I think Sting might have retired like after that, like to be like, and that's it, guys. Like I
Yeah.
did all of my shit outside of WWF, and then when I finally got here, they gave me a WrestleMania match against The Undertaker and I'm out. Like, I think Sting could
Yeah.
have easily left right after that. But instead, he's like, nope. Like,
Or the deal was so embarrassing, it was just like, we don't want to invest anything in you, so it is 10 dates in 2 years. And
right.
you get your 250,000 or whatever. So there's no investment. He knows there's no investment in him, and he's unmotivated
Craig, I think
and
you
doesn't
nailed
give a
it.
fuck.
I think you
Like-
nailed it. I think it was presented to him as a Legends contract, and he's like, I'm not a legend yet. I'm not done. And he's like, sure, whatever. I was like, what?
So fucking lock me up. Like, and then
he's like, whatever. Like, I think they came and set the dates because they had it wasn't Brock Lesnar already on limited dates at this point too, like at this time. Like the
I'm
Legends
sure.
contract.
Yeah, he already beat Undertaker, so yeah, he was.
The Legends contracts were already kind of well in tow here. So Brock had his dates. So I think they assumed that Sting wanted the same thing. I mean, this is all speculation, but I'm just like, well, we know you're at this age, so we're going to give you limited dates and we're going to pay you really well. And he looked at him and go, sure, you're saying I'm old. Well, no.
I will say we watched the Seth Rollins match, and the reaction to the Seth and the match when he hit that buckle bomb in the corner when he was kind of out of it and had to be carried to the end. We did not like it, and we were saying Sting is done, and we were like, he shouldn't be in there. We were ready to write Sting off. If I recall, like our kind of temperature correctly, he didn't like because it looked okay, but like we didn't really know. Okay, buckle bomb. But it messed him up, and he was not okay the rest of the match. And I remember us distinctly being like, he shouldn't be in there. So it was it was the worst thing for him, actually, that Seth Rollins injury too. Like he really could have had something out of it.
It just reaffirmed that like he didn't belong here, and it's weird. We saw Sting in WCW, whether it was Surfer or Crow, and we're like, dude, what Vince would do to this guy? You know, can you imagine if he went there in '88?
We had those
like,
conversations. Yeah.
and I'm not saying that wouldn't have worked in '88 or '90 or '91 or whatever. But it never happened. So when he finally came there, I was like, you don't belong here. I feel that Sting knew that I don't belong here.
Yeah.
I need to make my stop here. I'll do my video games. I'll do the Hall of Fame,
cash the
cement my
checks.
legacy or whatever. But Sting is not WWE. I've never viewed him as that, and
I would argue he's definitely defined by WWE for sure. Yeah, never has been. He's been defined by Sting.
He's always left. Like the fact that he stayed in TNA for 11 years and didn't go, like showed a lot about him. He was like, I don't trust him. And then when he got there, he's like, this bullshit. And then like, then he leaves. He's like, I'm out. And then he's been in AEW for 4 years or whatever it was.
Call the hypotheticals, right? He was in TNA for 11 after WCW for 14 because to your point, Jesse didn't trust. He finally says, okay, I'll go take a look. And they offer him this bullshit Legends contract, which he's not ready for. I see it. I get it. He's like, see? He's like, this is what I was talking about. Like, I could see him going, but he would still go, okay, we'll do it. Because what else am I going to do? I've already left TNA. I kind of burned my bridge there. And we'll see what happens. But I think, unfortunately, Sting was proven right in everything that we think he believed, that this was not the place for him. It was not what he intended or hoped for his career. And the Seth things aside, I think that's just tough in itself. It's a freak accident, whatever. Now that we look at it almost 10 years later, but the Triple H thing just blows me away. I still get mad when I think about it, and it could have been such a memorable moment. It could have been a moment that falls on top 10 WWE WrestleMania moments, and it doesn't. And like I said before, it's a forgotten moment because Triple H never needed the win, but he got it anyway. Any last words, Craig? Sorry.
Nope. I think you said no. I think you said it well. It was a missed opportunity for
Yeah.
sure. It was something we always dreamed about. It was they fucked it up,
God.
and I kind of respect Sting for not kind of whatever. He just knew it. I guess
He doesn't
Jess said
harp on
he
it.
knew it.
And,
No.
and by the way,
No regrets on Sting. He's like, I don't deserve. They don't deserve me. This is
There
fine.
you go. And you know what? He would say those 200 people that did buy tickets, if it was supposed to be thousands, it was only hundreds. They they deserve my time. He would say. I think that's what he would say. And that's why
you
you
know
love
what?
him.
He doesn't get a sign off in WrestleMania. He's going to get a sign off in probably where he belongs in Greensboro in 17,000 people in March with the biggest house AEW's probably had domestically other than All In, and he's going to get his due that way, and the real fans know and love him. So fuck you, WWE. What? Jess, why'd you say that? That's terrible.
That's not nice, Jess. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts. Or watch our videos on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel. On
Don't watch
social
our
media.
videos on YouTube.
Why?
Huh?
Give us a follow on Instagram at O.W.P 2018 or on Facebook at Our Wrestling Podcast. For the O.W.P, this is Craig, Jess, and Butters signing off. Have a good one.